Well, hi there and welcome along to another edition of What's the Word? We're back post-Cheltenham, refreshed and ready to go for the flat season, Dukey. I mean, the rest of you not so much, but myself and Dukey are excited at least. Anyway,
Flat's back, baby.
Flat is back.
As you said.
Absolutely. Right, James Wood from Ladbrokes joins us, Brendan Duke as I mentioned, and David Jennings as well. Anyway, I set you some homework because the flat is back. So let's look at a couple of horses you're looking forward to this season. James, we're going to start with you.
I'm looking forward to seeing Japan for Aidan O'Brien. He's pretty fancied for the Derby at the moment. And Enable as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing her back. I got to see her win her second arc.
Who's that?
Enable.
Never heard of her.
No.
Did you not see the bit where it said you're only allowed in clearly hiding under a rock? Anyway, we're joking.
We'll go with Enable.
You're going to go with Enable, yeah.
Yeah, I got to see her win the second arc, so
That's
it was
quality, yeah. Did you pick Enable just so you could weave that story in, or
no? Hopefully, no. I might get to see her win a third one, but that'll be a different story now.
That'll
Come
be nice.
October,
That'll
but
be nice.
yeah, it'd be great.
Are you going to shoehorn in the Melbourne Cup story in? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never been to Melbourne.
No, you've never mentioned it. Chucky, what about you? Paddock watcher extraordinaire. Go on.
For the Paddock Watchers extraordinaire, yes, because you know I'm a slave to the aesthetic, Tom. I would put in USS Michigan, who was probably the most impressive two-year-old specimen I saw last season. Finished second in a maiden on Derby weekend, and then won a nothing maiden in Dundalk.
Yeah, couldn't have won it any easier though.
Well, indeed, and if he lives up to his looks, sky's the limit. I will also go for Line of Duty. Charlie Appleby trying to go back-to-back in the Derby. This horse reminds me a little bit of Massar.
Yeah.
He's quite green early on, but he's got a lot of experience, showed a lot of heart to win at the Breeders' Cup meeting. Regally bred, and that experience should hold him in good stead come Epsom time. So he's about 25 to 1 for the Derby. I'd like to see him. And then finally, Rock Eagle. Trained by Rafe Beckett. Only had 5 runs by Teofilo, a stallion whose progeny usually do very well with age. Won a good handicap in Newmarket at the back end of the season. I'm not sure you'll see much of him early because I'd say they're working back from the Ebor because that's such a good
So much money for it now.
So much money for it. But I would say he would be my long-term pick for the Ebor and will turn into a pattern class stayer in time.
Cheeky, what a touch of class. An Ebor tip before the Lincoln. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. What about you, Jenno?
I have 3 as well.
Yeah.
The one horse I think could take the season by storm in Ireland is a horse trained by Dermot Wild called Flavius.
Yes.
Who won a listed race. It's won 2 out of 3. Won a listed race at Leopardstown in October, actually. I think it was the second last flat meeting at Leopardstown. Loved the way he travelled. Loved the way he did things. It was effortless. And listening to Dermot after the race, he was waxing lyrical about Flavius. I think he's going to start back in the Tatterstalls Gold Cup. So I'd be pretty keen on him. I think he could turn into a Group 1 performer over 1.25 miles. Should stay 1.5 miles as well. At the moment, if I was to have a bet in the Derby, I'd back Mount Everest, who I think potentially could be the stoutest stayer of those O'Brien juveniles we've seen last season. Got a good attitude. I think we haven't
really nice
got to the bottom of them yet. And another horse I'm really looking forward to this year is Mad Moon for Kevin Prendergast and Hamdan Al Maktoum, who I'm hoping can emulate Autad, who won the Irish 2,000 guineas.
Absolutely. Do you think you'd go Newmarket or do you think you'd just stick with the Curragh?
I'd say the Curragh. But
just because of Autad, I would have said the same.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just in case you're wondering why they haven't put up 2 Darn Hot or 10 Sovereigns, I kind of ruled that out. You weren't allowed to say them, or Quarto or any of those. Okay. Right, let's move on to Saturday. It's a rather forgettable day's racing. But at Kelso, you're going to pump us up a lucky 15, are you?
I have a lucky 15 for viewers, and they're all ridden by Sean Bowen.
So
I think Sean Bowen will win each of the first 4 races at Kelso. He starts off with Capitana in the 150. Fancying a horse who is fallen or unseated its rider on 3 of its last 4 starts is probably a shortcut to the poorhouse. But Capitana traded at 1.05 when falling at Ludlow last time. On its last 3 starts, it's traded at 1.05, 1.55, 1.54, and 1.59, and has won none of them, which is probably not the best philosophy to follow. But I think this is winnable. It's a 4-horse race, and one of them has no chance. She's just better than these, simple as that. Okay. The 225 Winston C, I think, still could be well handicapped off a mark of 137. His third to Brewing Up a Storm at Huntington earlier in the season looks really well now, obviously, since Brewing Up a Storm ran so well in the Ballymore. The 4th Flash to Steel has won twice since, and the horse that Winston C beat last time, Beaufort West, even ran in the Supreme, so I think Winston C can win that. In the 3 o'clock, probably my strongest fancy the whole day is a horse called Ron's Dream, that's trained by his father. Rated 139, was 4th in the Welsh National at Chepstow. The favourite in this is Blue Flight, but that's up £14 for winning last time. So I think Ron's Dream off 139 could have lots to offer. And the final leg...
Before, I think Yuki might interrupt you. We'll let you go with your final leg first.
The final leg, and the other thing to say about Ron's Dream, one start at Kelso, one Novice Chase by 13 lengths from Elusive Theatre. And the final leg of my Sean Bowen Lucky 15 is Captain Drake, who's only up in the 335, only up £6 for its win last time, and is only £1 worse off with Tom Kevy, who fell at the last. So I'm hoping it's going to be a Bowen benefit in the first 4 races.
Okay, you're going to say it's only going to be 3 of the 4 that because you're taking them on.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 Lucky 15.
Yeah. Yes, you take that. That's a living. Yeah, no doubt about it.
But you, in the 3 o'clock though, you fancy something else. You're opposing.
Well, just at a price, Gold Opera. I think he's a well handicapped horse. He's been second on his last 2 runs, but the form couldn't have worked out better. Now there are stamina issues. Anytime he seems to go up to 3 miles, bar once, he seems to run really badly, but not because of stamina. He's just beaten at halfway. So there is a chance he'll stay. He looks to have improved for going to keep dog leash. He's definitely well handicapped, and he's 10 to 1. I don't know. Dave's very sweet in his horse. I want to take on the favourite Blue Flight, like getting a stone.
I mean, I think the angle both of you come up with here is that you both want to take on the favourite, essentially, in that 3 o'clock.
So I might back both of them, actually.
A stone for beating Blackcorden.
This is it. So there's probably some juice down the field there. 10 to 1 Gold Opera.
Okay. You both have selections at Newbury as well. James, you like one at Thurles though?
Yeah, I like Ratneo Rebel in the beginner's chase, the 5:15 at Thurles. He ran pretty well last time out when he was just kind of collared towards the end. He got a bit tired.
Some serious novice hurdle form as well.
Yeah, he's had 2 years off, so obviously he had his issues, but I do think he'll come on for that. He tried to make all. He might be ridden a bit more patiently this time, and I don't think he's up against anything in the class he was last time. So Ratneo Rebel in the 5:15 at Thurles.
Yeah, you certainly won't oppose that on your train by Noel Meade. I mean, given the chance, we would have kicked Eva off that ultra and put in there. Right, what about at Newbury? Do you like one here in the 350?
The 350 Foxtail Hill has dropped to a dangerous mark, and he ran pretty well at Warwick lately, and the handicapper kindly dropped him £1. He's on a very dangerous mark, and he could get loose on the front here. There's only 5 runners, and he's the only front runner. Again, he could be a price because he does look on the downgrade.
Yeah, you're with him. Are you ready to jump in there?
No, I just, before you finish with Newbury, come back to me.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Mad keen. Do you have your list? You look like you got a new notebook and everything there, did you?
Yeah. It's kind of smaller.
You thought he wasn't too keen on the flat.
Yeah, over to David. That's all I've got. Foxtail Hill.
Okie doke. You like one at Newbury as well? We're saving this to the end.
It's not very original now, but I just think getting the queue is going to hack up on that bumper for Noel Feely. His last ride, he won by 16 lengths in the fog at Exeter last time out, and I just think this was always a plan for him. I did fancy him for Cheltenham, but this apparently was the plan, this race at Newbury. And I just think he'd probably go off 1 to 4, 1 to 5, but he will be the one that they'll all have to beat.
Accumulator fodder.
Yeah.
Go on.
Double him up with Ireland there against Gibraltar.
No, getting the queue, I'd say, will be very short. Yeah. Elise in the 240. Alan King, right, going in, we filmed this on a Friday, going into Friday, Alan King, 6 of his last 7 runners have won. So he's really hitting form.
At the wrong time of the year.
Yeah, exactly. But you're better to finish the season in good form than not. But Elise, rate 132, just rock solid form. I know it has to give away to friend or foe who was well fancy for the Fred Winter. But I thought this Elise, I thought its run against Kel Destan at Doncaster in December was a cracking run. Kel Destan ran a cracker in the Triumph Hurdle. And the other one I like is in the 315. It is the EBF and TBA Mayors National Hunt Novices Hurdle Series Final, an A limited handicap.
And the snappy title.
Yes, and the one I like is something that may have happened to you once upon a time. I don't know, maybe so. Off the Hook.
Off the Hook.
Yeah, Off the Hook for Nick and Lucy Alexander. I can't believe it's got away with no rise for winning the maiden hurdle last time there. It's off 121. It's got form tied in with some really, really good horses, including Queen of Hearts. So I think Off the Hook could be about 16 to 1.
Good stuff. That's a nice price. Let's move on to the Sunday action when the flat is back. Brendan, you're going to start with you because you are like our main flat correspondent. We'll start with something easy like the Lincoln, all right? You poured over this.
Well, I did pour because wouldn't it be great to just tip up the winner of the Lincoln? I mean, that's going to buy a lot of goodwill for a month or so. Absolutely impossible race. I ended up coming down with Master Speaker, who's a very hard horse to win with, and he's 9. However,
His best form is over 6 miles.
Well, he's a flattering horse. I mean, I'd say he'd be running on at the end of 2 miles. I mean, this is the problem. This is why I've lost so much money on him. But he does have the boy wonder round and wheeling to coax him to put his best foot forward. He does have a good draw. He'll be a price. Rightly so.
I think master speaker to you is brain power to me.
Yes, that's possible. I ended
or Western rider.
I will be having a token bet on master speaker.
A token bet on master speaker. How are they going to bet for this, James?
We have Theobald priced up as your 7-1 favourite. Aussie Valentine's at 8. Carawan and Spirit Saoirse are at 10-1, and there's a whole host of them at 12, like Tony the Gent, Insignia Rant, Marshall Jennings, Calvados Spirit, and it's 14's bar.
10-1 about Carawan. Is that something that would interest you, David Jennings?
It would, and I know you're very sweet in it, so it sounds like I'm stealing your thunder. But Carawan, like you, I just love this line of Ger getting these really well-bred horses that disappointed after promising starts in Britain, and Sir Michael Stout trained Carawan. And it gets in here of a mark of 83. Like, if you were told that this horse would be rated 83 after its first couple of starts, you would have laughed. Drawn and stalled 3. Should be okay on the ground, I think. And it's just got that air of this is going to win 4 handicaps this season. And this could be the first of them. So I could see it running in the Topaz Mile or something like that later on in the season, like a Brendan Bracken. So Carawan would be my choice now, because my anti-post fancy for the race was Wentwood, but it's only second reserve. That horse has to be well handicapped off 82. So wherever Wentwood runs this season at the start of the season, I'd advise punters to get stuck in.
Yeah, just on Carawan, massive fan as well. And you look at that mark of 83 and think, it's just not going. In 2 to 3 months' time, there's absolutely no way that horse is 83.
Hopefully in 2 or 3 days' time.
2 or 3 days' time, yeah, reassessed under a penalty. Right, elsewhere on the Naas card, and it is a cracking card, the Park Express stakes there. You got the likes of Yulon Go Ferry, probably had one of her best performances at the track as well, near the top of the market. You're betting for this one, James? Yeah,
we go 9-4 Yulon Go Ferry, Delphinia at 100-30. Drombeg Dream is at 5-1, Alethea at 11-2, and 10's bar.
Right, Juki, are you with Yulon Go Ferry here, or would you?
Yeah, I think I'm like, she's penalised, but she's the best horse in the race. She goes well fresh, and she'll handle conditions. I thought she was a worthy fab.
Yeah, isn't it 9-4? That's a price.
I think that's a hell of a price. Yeah, and she's been kind of well backed in the past as well. So so we'll be across the board with Yulon Go Ferry there. Yeah. Right, on to the Devoy Stakes. This is the penultimate race in the card there at 4:45, and the lesser spotted Amedeo Modigliani back at 445 days off the track. Juki, does he owe you a pound or two?
He doesn't owe me a pound or two, but he is the horse that launched 1,000 anti-post dockets. So, there's a lot of people backed him for the Derby. He's a very interesting horse. I just have a policy of opposing Aidan's first time up, because, he's going to come on 10 or 12 pounds to draw. Yeah. It's not a great race. The one I thought I'd take a chance on, you might get a price because she was so bad the last day, is that Hazel Bay. She did get upset in the stalls in Dundalk. Now, she ran terribly. That has to be the reason. I mean, you go back to that Navan form. The winner was third in an Irish Oaks. Princess Yeza went on and won a Group 2 on Arc Weekend, and she was second in it on her debut. Like, she looked a proper, and she was plenty green as well. Loads of scope. She's really impressive filly to look at. I think hopefully people will read too much into the Dundalk form, and the love for the Modigliani means we might get a decent price. I'll give her another chance.
Yeah, and of course you got the Dead 8 in there as well. Fingers crossed that stays too.
I forgot about the Dead 8. Beautiful. Yeah, each way Hazel Bay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oi.
There you go. Elsewhere, what are you thinking about Amedeo Modigliani? Do you think you just oppose him, or is that a general thing you would just oppose?
I just watch him. I don't think you could back him or you could back against him. So it'd be just a watching race, because he could be a proper Group 1 performer, and if he is, he'll win that quite convincingly. Like, he's not even given weight to Stellar Master, still standing. Or Tiger Voice. One that I'm reasonably interested in the 235, and if there was money for it, and if I knew it was fancied, I'd give it a great chance. Chessman used to be with Archie Watson. It's changed to Richard O'Brien now. Ushinor takes off £3. This is the exact type of horse that Richard does really well with, and Chessman, to me, has the scope to win a few nice handicaps this season. So maybe this will be the first of them. Strawn installed 15, which is hard to know whether that's a help or a hindrance. We'll know from earlier on the card. But if there was a few bob for Chessman, I'd be reasonably interested in him. Yeah, something similar actually comment in that race as well to Aurora Eclipse, who finished really nicely behind Urban Beat the last time she had any sort of soft in the going. Since then, obviously it looks like she's just running ground that was probably too quick for her. But on soft going,
ties in nicely with Urban Beat, who's of course one of the handicappers of last season. So I'd pop up Aurora Eclipse there against Genoa at 235. Anything else for you on the Naas card?
Very quickly, I've just realised I think Dermot Well is going to have himself a day at Naas on Sunday. The 305, the Madrid handicap, always an interesting race. This third...
Speak of Autad, that's where he started the season, the year he won the 2,000 guineas.
Well, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. This Third World won a Killarney maiden that has worked out. You could definitely make a case that he's well handicapped off 84. He's only had 3 runs, and the boy Cohen takes off a handy £5. So
yeah. Third World, yeah. Anything else? Or that's
no, that's me.
That Zander was interesting in that race. Won the good Galway maiden and crying out for soft ground. Gets it here for hopefully it'll be good there for.
It'd be interesting. Well. This is an interesting season for Ger Lyons because last year he was sort of at pains to stress that it was a sort of transition year, wasn't he? So. Can no great place trainer. To hide. Absolutely
great
trainer. And great trainer to interview as well.
Yeah.
Or does he talk to you guys? No.
He does. Yeah. Ger would be. I really like Ger. I think he's interesting to listen to.
At least you will get something interesting from. That's guaranteed.
And if you're watching, Ger, call me.
Yeah. One interesting, to use that word again, is the rider on the top weight in the maiden at 2 o'clock, or Walsh. Last time. This guy rode on the flat. I think it was last time he had a winner was 2007 on the flat. So I don't think he's done anything since then. But yeah, Ruby Walsh rides for his dad in the second race. 10 stone 4 on Castle Townsend. So all the big names will be nice on Sunday. Right, let's move on to our best bets of the weekend. I'm going to get 3 for the weekend, and I also want an anti-post flat bet for you for the season. Okay, so James, we'll start with you.
Yeah, well, getting the queue is obviously going to be the bet of the weekend for me. Not a great price. Rathney or Rebel.
Going to make Ireland +1 against...
Probably not, to be honest. I don't think so.
No, +1 against the world.
And Yulon Gold Fairy in the 340 at Naas. And because I'm giving you such a short price, I'll give you 2 anti-post flat bets. I'll give you Japan for the Derby.
Yeah.
And Sean Davis to be champion conditional jockey in England. He's riding for Richard Fahey, so I think that could be an interesting one at a bit of a decent price as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It is an interesting little anti-post. Right, Yugi. To you. Bear in mind, some of us, I think someone put up a St. Ledger winner on this show last year as well, was well put up, wasn't he? So, you know, no pressure to follow that.
That was Johnny, of course.
Kew Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, it was a shout in fairness. So you were involved in that project as well? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you can't just live on former glories. I'm sure I put up a winner before as well. So I'm going to put up a Trixie, why not? Gold Opera in the 3 o'clock in Kelso. Foxtail Hill in the 350 in Newbury, and I'll stick in that Yulon Gold Fairy in the 340 in Naas because I think she'll win. And for my anti-post bet, I will do Fairyland in the 1,000 guineas.
Yeah.
The 1,000 guineas, well, guineas in general, people say it's the last 2-year-old race of the year. She's by Kodiak, which would give you some concerns about her stamina, but she's such a model racehorse. I'd give herself every chance to stay. She's just a delight, the filly, and she's experienced on the course. She's so hardy. I think Aidan, I know he doesn't always have them primed for that race, but I think he'll have her primed because this is a massive chance for her. I think 12 to 1's a fair price.
Cool. He loves Fairyland as much as I love Skitter Scatter. Go on.
You're like the Christy Moore of racing pundits. You close your eyes when you feel strongly about something. You close your eyes and you just say it like Christy.
Yes, with impact.
Yeah, I like it.
Go on, Trixie. Is it a Sean Bowen Trixie?
It's a Sean Bowen Lucky 15. If we can fit 4 on the screen, hopefully producer Barbara is going to have her work cut out.
But not going to do that.
Cupatana 150 Kelso, Winston C 225 Kelso, Ron's Dream 3 o'clock Kelso, and Captain Drake 335 Kelso. Come on, Sean.
Okay.
My anti-post fancy is it's on April 22nd at Fairy House in the Irish Grand National, and is a horse called Say Jersey, trained by Willie Mullins, who I think is seriously well handicapped off a mark of 140.
He's gone off the reservation.
Yeah. Oh, it's flat.
It's
flat.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit now.
He's like, you see
what I did there?
I see what you did there. It's a classic quiz question, isn't it? What's the most valuable horse race during the flat season?
Oh.
The Grand National.
Oh, yeah.
Right, my bet for the weekend is Carawan in the Lincoln. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with more What's the Word?